So the biggest question I get asked about this car is, why would you build a matte black Daytona? There's a good reason for that. I built this car with a really good buddy of mine, my buddy Todd, and the goal was to make the most badass cross-country pro touring Daytona ever built, which honestly was kind of easy since no one had ever done it before. This car is about personality, it's about making a statement, and it's helped take me to places like Big Muscle, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, this car has been in a documentary for BMW, okay? We went to the Playboy Mansion because of this car, and we had 6 Playmates actually sitting up on the wing. It's a great photo, I gotta show it to you. I've got a picture of it on Route 66 in Illinois, I've got a picture of it on Rodeo Drive, where people just kind of look at it because it was parked behind a Ferrari, and they were like, what the hell is this thing doing in here? We brought it to the Concours d'Elegance in Pebble Beach and parked it between a Bugatti Veyron and a Ferrari F40. These cars, like the other car, it's a toy. It's a lot of fun, it's a great car, and it's absolutely not for everybody. So under the hood of the Daytona, I mean, how is it different than the Charger? Well, it's actually really different. Where the Charger is pretty much a very mild, kind of a stock 440, this car is a little more, it's got a little more oomph under the hood. We've got a low deck stroker motor in here, 471 cubic inches. Makes about 510, 515 horsepower around there. Basically what we tried to do was take everything we learned from the Charger and kind of one-up it with the Daytona. This car has air conditioning, it has cruise control, it's got xenon lights, I mean, as does the other one. But it's a fabulous, fabulous open road car. To cruise this car like at 90, 100, 110 is a wonderful experience. I can't even tell you. I mean, all the aero stuff you see, from the nose cone to the spoiler to the wing on the back, that's all stuff that really works. I mean, the guys back in '69 who designed this car, they knew what they were doing. Now, as for brakes on the car, we wanted to keep it Dodge. So what we did was we took a set of rotors off an SRT8 Charger and calipers off a 2008 Viper, and we actually made our own kit. It's a wonderful gentleman called Cass Eslick who developed a kit for us, and it's great. And the reason—
Oldest car I've ever driven. It is a 1969 Dodge Daytona. They only built 1 year of Daytonas, but in fact this is not a 1969 Daytona, this is a 1969 Charger, and converted it to a Daytona. The one thing that first and foremost you notice when you get in here, there are gauges that actually mean stuff to me. The gauges tell me that the gas tank is now a quarter of a tank empty after starting this review. We're at 130 degrees in terms of water temperature. Oil pressure, 20. I don't know if that's good or bad. And the voltage gauge seems to be off the chart. It's got a 5-speed transmission. Again, very easy to use. Huge pedals. When you get on it, under braking, it kind of goes to the left a little bit. Now the brakes in this car are actually off of a 2008 Dodge Viper, so they're good. Everything else though, pretty much custom made, which kind of scares the shit out of me once again, because cars. Now the idea of this car is actually quite simple. It's a pro touring car, which makes perfect sense. I know that anyone who is a muscle car guy will look at this car and maybe think it's a travesty because, well, why would you take a Daytona and cut it up like that? Well, it's not a real Daytona, so don't worry about it. And as a pro touring car, that means it's meant to go to the track. It's meant to be beat on. And that's what Mike does. That's the best part about it. Mike actually gives a about his cars. Porsche, when they released the 993 Turbo, had a slogan, kills bugs. Well, the surface area in the front of this Daytona kills more bugs. That's my slogan for it. The initial turn-in is, but when you start figuring it out and you build your confidence, it's actually quite fun to drive. Let me tell you a story about Mike Musto, because to understand this car, you need to understand